The year is 2025, a time of rapid transformation and uncertainty. The world is at a crossroads. Nations are grappling with unprecedented challenges and opportunities. The geopolitical landscape is shifting at an unprecedented pace. Old alliances are fraying, new rivalries are emerging. Leaders are navigating a complex web of international relations. Global powers are engaged in a high-stakes competition for influence and resources. Military might and economic power are being leveraged in new ways. The post-Cold War order has crumbled. The certainties of the past have given way to a new era of unpredictability. It has given way to a more fragmented and unpredictable world. Societies are more interconnected yet more divided than ever before. The rules-based international system is under strain. Multilateral institutions are struggling to maintain order and cooperation. Multilateralism is facing serious challenges. Economic uncertainty looms large, markets are volatile, and the future of global trade is in question. Global trade wars and protectionist policies are disrupting supply chains. The flow of goods and services is no longer guaranteed. They are also slowing economic growth. Industries are struggling to adapt to new realities. The COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated existing inequalities. It has highlighted the vulnerabilities in our healthcare systems and economies. It has exposed vulnerabilities in the global economy. Small businesses are closing, and unemployment rates are soaring. Amidst these turbulent times, one thing is clear. The future will be shaped by those who can adapt to this new reality. Innovation and resilience are key. Those who can build bridges across divides. Collaboration and diplomacy will pave the way forward. And those who can seize the opportunities presented by this moment of profound change. The future belongs to the visionaries and the adaptable. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine has cast a long shadow over global affairs. The world watches as the situation unfolds, with each day bringing new challenges and uncertainties. Russia's invasion, now in its third year, has shattered European security. The once stable region now finds itself grappling with the realities of war, as nations bolster their defenses and prepare for the unknown. It has triggered the most significant geopolitical crisis since the end of the Cold War. Leaders from around the world convene in urgent summits, seeking solutions to a conflict that threatens to reshape the global order. The conflict has had far-reaching consequences. Beyond the immediate violence, it has created a humanitarian disaster, with countless families torn apart and communities uprooted. It has led to a humanitarian crisis in Ukraine. Millions have been displaced, seeking refuge in neighboring countries or within Ukraine itself, often with little more than the clothes on their backs. It has also fueled a global energy crisis. The conflict has disrupted supply lines, leading to soaring energy prices and shortages that affect everyday life far beyond the borders of Ukraine. Sanctions on Russia, a major energy producer, have sent shockwaves through the global economy. Markets are in turmoil, and governments are scrambling to find alternative sources of energy. The war in Ukraine has also accelerated the global trend toward deglobalization. Countries are rethinking their trade policies, focusing more on self-sufficiency and less on international cooperation. It has exposed the fragility of global supply chains. The interconnectedness that once drove economic growth now reveals vulnerabilities, as disruptions in one part of the world ripple across the globe. Countries are now seeking to reduce their reliance on potentially hostile powers. This shift is leading to a resurgence in local manufacturing and a re-evaluation of global trade relationships. They are prioritizing national security over economic efficiency. In this new era, the balance between safeguarding national interests and maintaining economic stability is more delicate than ever. The war in Ukraine has been a wake-up call for Europe. It has exposed the continent's dependence on the United States for its security. European leaders are now pushing for greater strategic autonomy. They want to reduce their reliance on Washington. This has led to a surge in defense spending across Europe. There is a renewed focus on strengthening European defense capabilities. The European Union is seeking to play a more assertive role in global affairs. The concept of European sovereignty has gained traction. This encompasses not only defense but also economic and technological independence. Europe is seeking to reduce its reliance on China for critical technologies. It is also looking to strengthen its own industrial base. The global trade order is under threat. Protectionist sentiment is on the rise. The United States and China, the world's two largest economies, are locked in a trade war. They have imposed tariffs on billions of dollars worth of each other's goods. This has led to uncertainty in the global economy. Businesses are delaying investments. Consumers are facing higher prices. The World Trade Organization, the body responsible for regulating international trade, has been weakened. The COVID-19 pandemic has further fueled protectionism. Governments have imposed export restrictions on essential goods. They have also sought to protect domestic industries from foreign competition. Section 5. Shifting sands of the Middle East, an uncertain future. The Middle East remains a region of volatility and conflict. The Syrian civil war has entered its second decade. Yemen is in the grip of a humanitarian catastrophe. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict remains unresolved. Iran's nuclear ambitions continue to be a source of regional and international concern. The rivalry between Saudi Arabia and Iran is playing out across the region. It is fueling proxy wars and instability. The Abraham Accords, signed in 2020, offered a glimmer of hope. These agreements normalized relations between Israel and several Arab states. However, the underlying tensions in the region persist. Section 6. The Arctic Thaw, a new frontier for cooperation and competition. The Arctic is rapidly becoming a new arena for geopolitical competition. As the ice melts, nations are eyeing the region for its untapped potential. The stakes are high and the players are many. As global temperatures rise, the Arctic ice cap is melting at an unprecedented rate. This environmental change is not just a local issue, it has global implications. The thawing ice is a clear indicator of climate change, affecting weather patterns and sea levels worldwide. This is opening up new shipping routes that were previously impassable. These new routes can significantly reduce travel time for global shipping, making the Arctic a valuable corridor for international trade. It is also making vast reserves of natural resources accessible. The Arctic is believed to hold about 13% of the world's undiscovered oil and 30% of its untapped natural gas. These resources are now within reach, sparking a modern-day gold rush. Arctic nations, including Russia, Canada, and the United States, are vying for control of these resources. Each country is laying claim to parts of the Arctic, citing historical and geographical ties to the region. They are also asserting their sovereignty over Arctic waters. Military presence in the region is increasing, with nations conducting naval exercises and establishing new bases to protect their interests. China, although not an Arctic state, is also seeking to expand its influence in the region. Through scientific research and economic investments, China aims to become a key player in Arctic affairs, further complicating the geopolitical landscape. The Arctic Council, an intergovernmental forum for Arctic nations, has traditionally promoted cooperation in the region. Established in 1996, the Council has been a platform for addressing issues like environmental protection and sustainable development. However, the escalating geopolitical rivalry is putting this cooperation to the test. The balance between competition and collaboration is delicate, and the future of the Arctic remains uncertain. Will nations find a way to work together, or will the race for resources lead to conflict? Section 7. Navigating the storm: corporate adaptation in uncertain times. In this era of geopolitical uncertainty, businesses are facing a complex and rapidly evolving risk landscape. Global supply chains are being disrupted. Trade wars and protectionist policies are creating new barriers to market access. Companies are having to adapt quickly to these challenges. They are diversifying their supply chains. They are also seeking to reduce their exposure to geopolitical risks. Many are reshoring or nearshoring their operations. They are bringing production closer to home. Technology is playing an increasingly important role in helping companies manage geopolitical risks. Section 8. Interconnected challenges, shared destiny. The geopolitical challenges facing the world in 2025 are complex and interconnected. The war in Ukraine, the rise of China, climate change, global pandemics, and technological disruption are all reshaping the global order. These challenges cannot be addressed in isolation. They require global cooperation and a renewed commitment to multilateralism. The international community must work together to strengthen the rules-based international system. It must also find new ways to address global challenges. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the choices we make today will determine the course of events for generations to come. Section 9. Conclusion: towards a new global equilibrium. The world in 2025 is a world in flux. The old certainties have vanished. We are entering an era of profound geopolitical transformation. This is a time of both peril and opportunity. The challenges we face are daunting, but we must not succumb to pessimism. We must embrace the spirit of innovation and cooperation. We must work together to build a more peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable future for all. The journey ahead will be long and arduous. But by embracing the principles of dialogue, cooperation, and mutual respect, we can navigate the shifting sands of geopolitics and create a more just and equitable world order.